Good afternoon, students. My name is Jessica Stutzman, and I'm the Recycling Coordinator for Millcreek Township. Have you ever thought about where your trash goes once it is picked up curbside? Today, we are going to cover 8 really important vocabulary terms: contaminate, decomposition, disposal, landfill, leachate, methane, waste-to-energy facility. First, I'd like you to take a guess on how many pounds of trash the average person generates each and every single day here in the United States. 1 pound, 4.5 pounds, or 10 pounds. If you guessed 4.5 pounds, you are correct. That's equivalent to throwing out 1 bag of sugar per day. Last year, Millcreek Township residents sent 20,773 tons of trash to the local landfill. Now, we need to break it down. Let's estimate how much trash is generated per family based on our local numbers. And I will give you a hint. Millcreek Township has 17,000 homes that get trash and recycling picked up curbside every single week by our trash and recycling hauler. First, we need to convert tons to pounds, and 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. Next, we need to multiply 20,773 tons of trash times 2,000 pounds, which equals 41,546,000 pounds of trash. Next, 41,546,000 pounds of trash divided by 17,000 homes equals 2,444 pounds of trash per family per year. If you reach the answer 2,444 pounds of trash per family per year, that is correct. Wow, that number is equivalent to throwing out 1 car every single year from just one Millcreek family. Why are we looking at the challenges of waste disposal today? Well, from your calculations, we throw out a lot of garbage every day, and the garbage has to go somewhere. The question is, where does it go, and what is its impact on our environment? In most of the U.S., we send non-recyclable waste to a landfill. The reality is, the more garbage that is diverted from landfills, the longer the landfills will last. Some waste is sent to a waste-to-energy facility, which burns the material and produces electricity. Let's take a minute to follow the waste stream. After garbage is collected, it goes to the landfill for disposal. Trucks enter the landfill where it is weighed, videotaped, and paperwork is presented to the scale master. The truck is then directed to a designated disposal area, also known as a cell, where it will dispose of the waste. The cell is engineered, designed, and constructed to ensure groundwater protection and that the landfill is safe and secure. Construction of a landfill includes a multi-layered liner system and leachate collection system. Leachate is the wastewater produced when rainwater filters through the waste. Landfill compactors drive over the trash and pack it tightly into the cell. At the end of each day, 6 inches of soil and approved materials cover the exposed trash. This keeps the garbage from blowing away, minimizes odors, and provides protection from animals and birds. In the landfill, the waste decomposes from natural, biological processes. As the waste decomposes, it produces methane gas, which is collected through a system that includes gas wells, collection pipes, and a compressor to create a vacuum. Landfill gas is then recycled as an energy source. The most common use for landfill gas is the production of electricity. When cells reach their final elevation, a cap is installed and vegetation is applied. After closure, landfills can continue to serve the communities as parks and other open spaces. Sending discarded items to a landfill or waste-to-energy facility is not ideal, as it will run out of space in the future. Also, some items take a very, very long time to decompose within a landfill. Let's take a minute to make some educated guesses on decomposition rates. Plastic bottle, 450 years to decompose. A leather shoe, 40 to 50 years. A banana peel, 3 to 4 weeks. A paper bag, 1 month. A tin soup can, 80 to 100 years. A wool sock, 1 year. Cigarette butts, 2 to 5 years. A cotton rag, 5 months. Plastic six-pack ring, 450 years. An aluminum pop can, 200 to 500 years. Newspaper, 6 weeks. A glass bottle, 1 million years to forever to decompose. Now that we have some eye-opening scientific evidence, we are not just going to talk about the problem, but we are going to come up with some solutions. So let's get started. Reduce, reuse, recycle, compost, and rethink. We are going to take a closer look at recycling to see if there is anything that we can do as good stewards of the environment to be sure that friends and family recycle often and recycle the right way. Things that can be recycled include cardboard and food boxes, paper and magazines, beverage and soup cans, and plastic bottles and tubs. After your recyclables leave your curbside, the recycle hauler takes them to a MRF, which stands for Material Recovery Facility. These facilities include engineered and highly technical processes that have been developed to sort recyclable materials using magnets, windscreens, laser optic sorters, gravity, and manual labor. Let me now introduce our MRF tour guide, Tom, from Recommunity Recycling.
Welcome to the Recommunity Materials Recovery Facility. I'll be your... Hey, guys, can we cut the sorting out for just a few minutes? I'm trying to get a tour here. Whew. Much better. Welcome, I'm Tom, and I am very excited to be your tour guide. I'm going to show you exactly what it is we do here at the Recommunity Materials Recovery Facility, or MRF for short. Let's get going before they crank up the noise again. The whole process starts here at the scale. It's like a huge version of the scale you have in your bathroom, and it's probably more accurate. Inbound trucks drive right onto a scale for weighing. We empty them out, then weigh them again. The difference is the amount of recyclables being delivered for sorting and processing. Either someone needs to clean their room, or we've reached the tipping floor, a huge area where we store mixed resources before the separation starts. Trucks dump loose or baled resources here. Then the payloader pushes them into piles. Very organized piles. Here's the illustrated version of our Infeed Conveyor. Pretty cool, right? Let's check out the real thing. Here's where things really get moving. The payloader snatches up loose resources and empties them out onto the Infeed Conveyor, where our handy-dandy metering drum turns, creating an even flow of materials moving along to the next step. Yep. Nope. Oh, hey, don't mind me. Just doing a little pre-sorting, and much like these guys. Before the separation process starts, our pre-sorters do an amazing job of picking out items that aren't recyclable, could get tangled in the system, or even hurt our employees. For example, their eagle eyes can spot things like plastic bags, and as the materials whiz by, they snatch them up and place them into large vacuums so they can be recycled separately. Whoa! You gotta check out how we separate 3D objects from the boring old 2D ones. OCC stands for Old Corrugated Cardboard, and the OCC screen won't stand for 3D objects like containers ending up in the same place as 2D objects like fibers. The OCC screen is an inclined series of rotating discs that allow paper and other material to fall right through them. The next stop on our tour is this crazy-looking machine called the ONP screen. The old newsprint screen, or ONP screen if you want to be hip with our insider lingo, is an inclined series of rotating discs that separates old newsprint from mixed paper in containers. If materials are too small or rigid, they drop right between the discs, or take a trip down the incline. Can you guess what we're going to talk about next? Under the paper screen, the intimidatingly named glass breaker screen busts up the glass that falls below the container line and separates it from the non-glass containers. All the non-glass safely bounces across the discs. Kind of hypnotic, isn't it? We think so. Paper. We all love it. We all need it. But how do we sort it? Let's head down to the paper sorter and find out. Paper gets the superstar treatment here as it flows down conveyor belts and machinery to make sure we end up with a product that has a minimum amount of non-paper contaminants. And we also make sure there are paper sorters along the conveyor belts to capture as much newsprint, paper, and magazines as possible. Think of them like reverse mailmen. We keep things moving with the commingled conveyor belt. After fibers like paper and cardboard are separated, this belt carries a mix of plastics, cartons, and metals through more machines and even a little human separation. People often ask me, how do you sort plastic to ensure you're recycling contaminant-free product and capturing the most high-density plastics like detergent containers, milk jugs, and cartons? Seriously, I get that question at least 10 times a day. Good thing it's easy to answer. We carefully sort plastic through a series of optical sorters and conveyor belts through the entire facility, and also utilize plastic sorters along commingled conveyor belts. We've got it down to a science. Do you like magnets? So do we. Our steel magnet is a high-powered magnetic drum that attracts ferrous metals to the revolving shell. Once attracted to the revolving drum, the steel is rotated, then released when it reaches the discharge point beyond the magnetic field. Hey, is my watch in there? The optical sorter may sound like something your optometrist uses, but it's actually an infrared sorting system that separates out polyethylene terephthalate. Please don't ask me to spell that. That fancy word means plastic soda bottles to you and me. Anyways, the belt moves ultra fast, so let's slow it down to show you that. Within milliseconds, the optical sorter identifies the PET using an infrared camera and instantly shoots a burst of air to blow the recyclables into a different chute. Magnets aren't magic, but the eddy current separator magnetically deflects aluminum out from the flow faster than you can say, abracadabra. The eddy current separator uses a strong magnetic field to deflect aluminum from the incoming material flow. Items like aluminum foil and beverage cans are easily extracted using this process. Okay, this is harder than I thought, but moving and stacking our bales of fully separated resources is pretty darn easy. These blocks of recyclables are held together by steel wire and come in all sizes and shapes. But generally, the bales are 3 foot by 3 foot by 4 foot and can weigh up to a ton or 2,000 pounds. Okay, I give up. Send this down for sorting. When we have our bales all cubed up, they're snagged with a forklift and taken to a top secret location called Area 51.
Dude, really?
Just kidding. It's only our bale storage area, where we separate them by material type and stack them up for our outbound trucks. Don't leave me hanging, dude. You know, even as your humble host, I have some chores to do around here. Luckily, all of the big glass cleanup is handled with our official glass cleanup system. Here, the system removes paper, dirt, and other debris from the broken glass material by using a vibrating screen and gusts of air. Sure beats my broom. This thing has splinters. Ow. Next stop, the glass bunker. Crushed and cleaned glass gets its very own storage where it waits for a truck to pick it up. Maybe take it out to dinner, and definitely haul it to a nearby glass reprocessor. Sadly, not all materials are recyclable. Even though we do everything we can to create absolutely zero waste, we have to say goodbye to some residue. The residue belt carries non-recyclable material out of our facility and towards the residue bunker. We also place quality control agents along the belt to ensure that recyclable materials aren't mistakenly sent to a landfill. After all the hard work and intricate separating, we still have to store the non-recyclable materials. So they go to a bunker or compactor until getting shipped off to a landfill. We hate to see them go, though, because we're always working hard to see a day where there's absolutely zero waste. We're getting close to the end of our process, but the journey for our finished bales is just beginning. Forklifts load the bales onto an outgoing trailer, which takes the material to a paper mill, plastic processor, or other end user. From there, the recycled materials are remade into new products, saving valuable resources, and are back in stores in as little as 6 weeks. It's not all super magnets and optical sorters. We also have education centers to help teach what Re-Community is all about. Check out our website directory page to find out if there is an education center near you. Our offices are full of dedicated employees just like me, working to recycle more and better our communities. So remember, don't throw away our future. Thanks so much for taking the time to learn a little bit about Re-Community. I hope you've had just as much fun learning about our facility as I did showing you around. If you'd like to learn even more, click around our interactive MRF and education page. And if you'd like to see it all in person, we'd love to see you soon.
The acceptable list for recycling can and does change over time. Be sure to visit www.millcreektownship.com for the most updated list of acceptable recycling. Boys and girls, we all have to do our part to protect nature and the environment. If we clean up after ourselves, our community will be a beautiful place to live in that everyone can enjoy. Students and teachers, I really liked visiting with you today. Thank you for letting me be a part of today's lesson on recycling. For more information on trash, recycling, and composting, please tune in to the Millcreek Government channel on YouTube. See you next time.